Okay, so your view show, it's informational, right? Because those are things that we're not being told while we're being kept prisoner. Because clearly many people do not have cable television, okay? And then we're being kept in these internet prisons by the criminally insane. And then they just try to give us whatever it is they're trying to educate us or get us to talk about while we wait for God to put them out of their misery, being completely criminally insane. Okay. So, in terms of how ill the population is and the jailers, okay. So, they are shutting off every person that's sane, probably anyone that even has an education in psychiatry. And then they are making up online forums of themselves, sort of like that discovery group. Okay, that's part of the typical behavior that we could sort of reference Nazi Germany. Okay, so um, divorces, yeah, I mean, I think it's strange that people don't want to get married. I would say it's probably because their partner doesn't want to marry them. So you could have people together for a very long time and they know that it's not a person they want to marry, just like Whoopi Goldberg said. Right, I really just, it's nonsensical that you don't get married. That doesn't make any sense. Why do you care about a piece of paper so much that you won't do it? Right, it's because you know deep down inside that you don't want to be with that person. People get married, that's what they do. Okay, a lot of these people that are having issues with their brain and they're in these group sex things and stuff, people get married and do that too. Right, so unless you're one of those people that's collecting benefits because you're not legally married, uh, that's kind of not even making sense either. You would just get married and not do it legally, and you'd wear rings. Okay, so that's a person whose partner won't marry them. Oh, and they probably know that it's just not. They always want to have the door open, and it's that easy to break up. It's supposed to be that easy to divorce, too. Okay, it gets to the point where you can't stand the person breathing anymore, and you've definitely got to get out, right? When you're in one of those marriages, because I've done it, you say all that stuff that those women said. That's exactly how you talk. I think people that are happily married, like Joy, will say, yeah, sometimes you just got to get a divorce. I think the ones that talk the other way are in unhappy marriages that they've already indicated to us. It's just that it can take a lot for a person to finally give it up. And it's sad for them because anybody that's been through it, you know it. And you're just listening to them and you're just like, okay, all right. So you don't understand why a person would get a divorce after that much time. Okay. Because maybe you have some sort, you want to be able to be yourself and not do all this weird stuff in order to stay married. Right? You stop blaming your weird behavior and your unhappiness on other things. Okay. And you decide that you deserve to have a life that you want to have, and you don't have to sleep next to somebody you don't want to. That's why. And you realize that you're not, if you have children, you're not being a good parent by what you're doing because you're obviously not acting like yourself. You're obviously unhappy, and you're teaching your children to stay in an unhappy marriage. Okay. There's not really a lot in terms of that people can bullcrap me on. Okay, because of my background, the reason I got married and like really gave it the all for 17 years. And then obviously you saw what happened to me. I still wouldn't stay married. I mean, I think six adults understand that, especially at this point. I still wouldn't stay married. Okay, I could never function as an adult woman or a parent continuing to do that. I did it as long as I could. And the person that you're married to gets worse and worse. And it becomes not good for the children. Everything that you think you're doing, you're not. And once you get past that, it may have worked when the children were young. I do sort of agree with that when people are going to stick it out and you get married because you're pregnant and you don't want to adopt out and stuff. I do actually believe that. But once your children are a certain age, all you're doing now is teaching them unhappiness. So you're doing a very disservice to your children to try to. I don't even want to say that you're narcissists and stuff like that. I mean, you clearly both of you women on the show are working, so you have your own income. It's not that. It has to do with your psychology and your denial because you're afraid, and neither one of you are 25 years old. Right. So many people have tried to counsel you on that. It's the inevitable. Why wait till you're 80? Exactly. Why wait till you're 80, ladies? Why not do it today? Why? Obviously, there's a lot of fear involved because of what happened to me, but you're not me. You're on a television. You're on a television, and other people of your species like you. It's not going to happen to your species. Like you people exodus the system. You don't use courtrooms and things. You're not getting paid. You could be right on the television telling them that what some guy or some court is doing to you. I don't have any of that. No one's ever offered that to me. No one's ever offered that to me. Duh. I'm in an internet prison. They're going to put me on a television? At this point, I wouldn't even want to talk to people that have that ability, but I'm saying in the past, that's never been offered me. Right. So, anyways, I got to pause you for a second. I've still got cooking beans. I've still got. I figured I would wrap up the beans when I rotate the next laundry, which is going to be at least another 15 minutes. So, let me pause this. Okay, now you're getting wacko. Okay, you're in the system. You're Oz. Why would you all of a sudden start saying that you believe that people why did people ever start getting married? Okay, so you're already transitioning. Okay, you're already transitioning, and like I said, you probably view yourselves as favorites, so you're not allowed to get a divorce. Okay, that's where all of that is coming from. Right, because now, right, as I just unpaused you and I'm listening more, you're clearly transitioning back into fur and a tail and a jungle. Okay, it's just that you're misunderstanding primates probably because you're so used to seeing people that are having all these out of wedlock children because they're not favorites. Okay, and you're allowing neutered males to have children, and you're not supposed to be doing that in your kingdom. That's why you have so much overbreeding. It's an insanity. You have mentally decrepit chas that won't stop producing mentally retarded children. That's why you have such a problem in terms of your species. They much of you won't even admit it anymore because you've all got to be politically correct. You won't even call people mentally retarded anymore. That's how sick you guys are. But anyways, in terms of your species, right? You're already well off into the process, right? So that's why you don't get divorced because clearly in your species you're not allowed to do that, especially as a favorite. Right, you females are the females that some of these females on this land piece think I am, and that's why they all of this has happened to me. Because I'm not you, clearly. I'm a different species. And I don't sit on my ass all day talking and then think that other people do everything for me. Okay, and that's exactly what you are doing. That's your attitude about life. Okay. Well, that makes a whole bunch of sense. And it's good. It's a good education for other people. Right. Because of the way that you females are, other females that didn't understand all of that, now I've got to be abused and have to suffer because of it. They don't know what to do about it now because they agreed to do it and they're stuck in it. That's what happens. Right. Because they'd have to face what they did and they don't want to do that. So they just keep going with it. But it's because of women like you. Because that's not a proper forum for you're not homemakers. You're one of those. And that's work. You think that's work what you're doing. You're not even an effing doctor. right? You just go, you're not a doctor, you're not entertainers. All you do is sit in a chair and talk at people like you're Kathy Lee Gifford. She was another one that thought she was a mother too. And then other people get a wicked distaste for that, right? Because some of them are out in the public too, and they don't actually raise their children. They're in daycare, they have nannies. Oh, yeah. And then that's all they do is sit on their ass. They might go to a gym and stuff because they're narcissists, right? But they don't do anything. They don't raise their children. They don't have a head. They don't have a brain in their head. Nothing. But that's some of them. They make up fancy work too, like that, like sitting in a chair talking to people. Like your view matters to anybody on the planet while we're all sitting here like this. And you're still doing it. Like it shows how deranged you are that you're still doing it to this day, sitting in those chairs every single day, just talking. Right, straight out. I mean, they're never going to tell you that. They're never going to tell you that. But then you go, okay, so what is you females' view of what is going on this land piece right now? Why are some females, if you don't even want to talk about men, why are some females at grocery stores and cash registers and food pantries? Why is that going on in your minds? Year 14 going into what, year 15? Like, what is that? Why are you still doing that? And you never in all these years would ever talk about anything that was happening to us in a Holocaust. You're absolutely disgusting, right? So you're never going to get that either. Like what you people think every single day when you wake up in the morning and you go into that studio to talk. Are you one of the ones where it's your job to keep propaganda and keep people calm? Okay. How are you figuring peacekeepers like myself being shut off from people and constantly attacked and people trying to straight out murder me and kill me in the frozen cold on the ground? What are your perceptions of that? Because you're in New York City, right? Okay. In your mind, why don't those people birthday cake you? That's a good question, too. It's not a threat. I'm asking you your reality. In your mind, why don't those people birthday cake you? Are they afraid of the police? Are they afraid to go to jail? Are they stupid because they could and nothing would happen to them and they don't do it? Do they like you? Are they fans of yours? Like, what's your perceptions of that? I'm sure. Like everywhere you go, I mean, I don't know if everyone there's wearing face masks still, but like when you go places, do people talk to you out in the world? People don't talk to me. Nope, people don't talk to me. I'm asking you people though if people talk to you because clearly your thing is different than my thing. But anyways, if you were wondering about your mental health condition, you're definitely already transitioning. Like I don't know if that was always your viewpoint, right? But you're definitely not human beings. Um, why do you marry? I would have to say it's because it protects you from being constantly raped by other males. If there's such a thing in your species, I went over that. You're all basically females, um, so that you're protected from other members of the species, and you don't have to be bothered by them. And then they gather food and stuff and bring it to you, and all you do is birth and sit in a thing like you're doing and groom each other. That's your life.